Hi, I'm Red Shirt Guy. You asked for this, and I want to talk about adverbs. It's a commonly held belief that adverbs end in ly and modify verbs, but that's not the whole truth. They also modify adjectives, whole phrases, and even other adverbs. I am really lucky to live in this flat. Honestly, I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. My life is going rather well. In fact, some adverbs don't even look like adverbs. This flat is just great, and I never want to leave. Ever. Freedom is kinda overrated. Anyway, TikTok is so great.
Do it again.
Do it again. Oh, hey, do you ever wonder why TikTok isn't talk-tick, or you don't listen to hop-hip music, or have a good chat-chit? Well, that's because there are linguistic rules in your head that you don't even know that you know. For example, ablaut reduplication. That's when you say the same thing 2 times but with a variance in the vowels. You unconsciously follow this rule. I before A before O. So like in zigzag, I before A. Or crisscross, I before O. Or dilly-dally, pitter-patter, splish-splash, clip-clop, hee-haw, ding-dong, shilly-shally, knick-knack, tip-top, ping-pong, flip-flop, king-kong, mish-mash, seesaw, jibber-jabber, sing-song, flim-flam. Oh, hey. Have you ever used the word literally, non-literally? Like, I'm literally dying right now. Some people get really upset about that. Tell you that you're using the word wrong or that you should look up the dictionary definition. Truth is, dictionaries don't even get to decide what a word means. Dictionaries are what linguists call descriptivist, which means that they just describe how a word is already used in society. Anyway, the non-literal definition of literally has been used since like 1769. And the next time somebody tells you that you should look in a dictionary, tell them to look in a dictionary. Merriam-Webster says that the non-literal version of literally is totally valid. Quick, without thinking, which one of these shapes is Kiki and which one is Booba? If you said this one is Kiki and this one is Booba, then congratulations. Most humans on Earth agree with you. But why? It's as if the names that we give our objects aren't totally random, and that our brain is making some kind of connection between the sound of the word and its meaning. Oh! By the way, if you're still watching this, please don't tell my flatmates that I'm down here. Have you ever read any of those old shop signs that read, "Ye Old Shop"? What's up with that? Well, the alphabet that we have today is actually kind of new. The Old English alphabet had a whole bunch of extra letters that we don't have today, including thorn, which was pronounced with a TH sound. So when the first printing machines came over to England, they didn't have that letter in their sets. They substituted it for a different letter that looked the same, a Y. So this sign actually would have read, "The Old Shop." And what's more, I hereby will ownership of my TikTok account to the Carnage House Incorporated in the unlikely event of my death. And I forbid any investigation regardless of suspicious circumstance. Goodbye. When I was in high school, I had a friend who got in trouble in class for talking too much, and he said, "But miss, I didn't do nothing." To which I said, "Well, that means you did do something." I was a bit of a know-it-all back then. It was pretty obvious to the whole class what he was saying. He didn't do anything, but I just couldn't help myself correcting him. But was I correcting him? In standard English, when you use 2 negatives, you end up with a positive. But that's not true of all languages. In fact, it's not even true of all Englishes. If you use 2 negatives in French or Spanish or Greek, you still end up with a negative. For example, in French, il ne mange rien
translates as he does not eat nothing, but it means he doesn't eat anything. This is a language feature called negative concord. Up until the 18th century, English was a negative concord language too, and so are a bunch of regional and ethnic dialects still spoken today. I guess what I'm saying is, don't be like me. Just because somebody speaks differently to you doesn't mean they're wrong.
Do you know that a group of giraffes is called a tower? 2 or more sharks is called a shiver. If you're hiking in America, you might encounter a sleuth of bears. These are called terms of venery. They're not official, they're certainly not scientific. They're mostly just sort of poetic fun. The most popular source of terms of venery comes from the Book of Saint Aubin, written in the 15th century. It didn't restrict itself to animals, though. For example, you might find a blast of hunters, or a subtlety of sergeants, or some of them didn't age very well. Do you have a favorite term of venery? If so, comment below. Mine is crows. Hey, put your fingers to your voice box and say the word lose. Okay, now do it again, but say the word loose. Do you notice the difference? Your voice box seems to vibrate when you say the S from lose, but not the S from loose. Why is that? Well, inside of your voice box you have vocal folds that can open and close. When they're open, air can pass right through, no problem, like when you're saying the S from loose. But when they're closed, air has to push its way past. It vibrates, like when you say the S from lose. That vibration is called voice, and it's what makes you loud. So when you're whispering, you're opening up your vocal cords and letting the air pass right through. No voice, no vibration. For example, try and say the zzz sound from lose while whispering. Lose. You can't. Also, if anybody knows how to get stains out, DM me. Let's say you get some free movie tickets and you want to invite your crush. So you psych yourself up to it, you muster up the courage and you send this text. Got some free tickets, wanna come. Then you wait for a response and a few minutes later you get this. What's your reaction? Are you happy or disappointed or confused? Does that little full stop at the end give you pause? You wouldn't be alone. A 2015 study asked that question to participants and asked them to rank the sincerity of the texts. The results are not surprising. Participants ranked those texts with full stops as less sincere than those without. Why? Well, we might be using that punctuation in place of non-verbal cues that we would otherwise use in face-to-face conversation, like a gesture, or a gaze, or a pause. And somehow, we've all decided that the full stop at the end of a text is a marker for insincerity. Let's play a game, and if you duet this, then I will comment your score. In linguistics, there are 4 rules of conversation called Grice's maxims. Quality, relation, manner, and quantity, and it just means be truthful, be relevant, make sense, and be as brief as you can. How many of these rules can you break in a conversation with me? Let's go.
What?
What are you doing on Friday night?
I'm gonna come and find you when I get out of this. You know that?
Are you sure that's a good idea?
It's the best idea I've ever had because I'm gonna put your head on a stake for stealing my life.
If you say so. Can I ask, what's that thing on your head?
It's a sleep mask. I'm looking forward to a real nice nap.
That makes sense. Hey, I have to go, but see you soon?
Yeah, you better believe it, you life-stealing fraudulent
bye.
freak of nature, John.
Did you know that gesture is universal to all humans, and that it's helpful for both the listener and the speaker? Helpful for the listener because I can reference our environment, like this knife is much sharper than any of these. Or I can provide extra information, like I really hope that our dinner guests aren't late. Gesturing is also very helpful for the speaker. Research has shown that it helps us to think. That's why you see people gesture a lot more when they're trying to think of a word. Studies have also shown that people that aren't allowed to gesture speak slower and use more filler words. Finally! Did you know that sign languages have accents? Subtle variation in the sign can tell you where somebody's from, or how old they are, or even their gender or ethnicity. For example, somebody from New York might sign a lot faster than somebody from Hamilton. Or if you move countries and you learn a second sign language, you can have a foreign accent in that sign language. Wait! You're unarmed. I feel bad. What are you gonna do? I'm already dead. You killed me! I did do that. That's, curious. No, not curious. Incidental. I'm here for what's mine. Uh-huh. You wouldn't. Of course I would. What does any of this matter if you kill me? I'm not gonna kill you! I am you! Color me unconvinced. Look at us! We're the same! Don't you wonder where you came from? Or why you're in this house? Do you remember anything before you were here? I think we better talk. There's no time to talk. They'll be here soon. We're talking. Now. Or I delete my account. Go on, over there. No sudden movements. Whenever you have a conversation with someone, do you ever pay attention to how much space there is between you? Scientists have a name for that, and it's called... What are you doing? What do you mean? You said there's no time, and now you're making a TikTok. This is what we do. Fine, but don't try anything. It's called proxemics, the study of how humans use their personal space. Edward T. Hall, the man who coined the term, described 4 different distances. The first is public distance, from 12 to 25 feet, and it's mostly used for public speaking, like in a classroom. Of course, these numbers can vary from culture to culture, but here, between 4 and 12 feet, is the social distance, where friends and co-workers might have conversations. With your best friends or your family, you might use the personal distance, from 1.5 feet to 4 feet. Or with your loved ones, you might use the intimate distance, from 1.5 feet to physical contact.
Hello, and welcome to Carnage Laboratories, a subsidy of Carnage House Incorporated. Since 1939, we have been leaders in the scientific field of cloning. After 8 decades of careful research, all stored on our company hard drive, we finally accomplished our goal of creating a human clone. And it's all thanks to you, a consenting volunteer. You're probably feeling a bit disorientated right now, so let me offer some comforting words. Destroy red shirt guy. Destroy red shirt guy. Destroy red shirt guy.
That is where you came from. Who are you? Just a memory. I'm whatever's left of the original, still in your mind. You know what we have to do now, don't you? Yeah. Hey, come here. That boy in your English class. Do you like him or like him? Hey, that's weird. What's weird? When you said the same word twice, the meaning changed. Ah, that's called reduplication. Reduplication? That's when there's more of the same thing. One thing, 2 times. sweatshirt guy. We already talked about ablaut reduplication, like TikTok and hip-hop. Yeah, that's another kind of reduplication. Are there other kinds? Well, in some languages, reduplication can make something plural, like in Indonesian. Buku means book, and buku-buku means books. Or how about when it marks repetition, like in the Nadroga language? When you say tola via, it means to look at something. Tola via means to look at it again, and again, and again. And in English, we also use reduplication to downplay something, like murder shmurder, or emphasize something, like are we leaving now, or now. Psst, did you know that in South Africa, now means later? Reduplication. Reduplication.
Go check the hard drive.